talk about my looking back on my childhood camping trips with my family. We were really outdoorsy people and enjoyed camping. We also had a trailer um, and a camper, and sometimes we'd have a boat. And often we'd go out to many different places and travel. Later on, when I grew up, I got married to a person named Sheila. Now, my wife, Sheila, she detests camping. She prefers hotels when we travel. And so I didn't want to give up the camping idea. And she didn't want to give up the hotel idea. She's saying no. So we're going back and forth. And I thought a good compromise would be an RV, to rent an RV. And so 5 years ago, we rented the RV. It was $100 a week. Not bad. But today, it's about $125 every day, and that's expensive. I can't believe how much the price has raised. But, anyways, we decided to rent the RV and travel. It was about 9,000 miles in the trip. First, we went to Northern California, then Utah, then Wyoming. Then we traveled to Wisconsin and New York, Maine, and down to Washington, D.C. Finally, North Carolina and home. Altogether, yeah, it took 9,000 miles. It was a 7-week trip, but we really enjoyed it. It was perfect. It was like a hotel on wheels. And the camping experience, you still felt kind of outside. So my wife, inside the RV and the camper, it was a perfect decision. But there's a shower and a bathroom in the RV. Camping, you can't do that kind of stuff outside. In a hotel, you can. So I thought for me, the RV was the perfect compromise. Later, about 15 years, my family decided to buy an RV. And because I have 3 daughters, it was expensive to continue to go see them flying. Paying for plane tickets was expensive. It'd be cheaper to just buy an RV. So we were excited, and naturally, my first time I get in, and I'm a little nervous because it's 31 feet wide. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, it's not the same as driving around in a car. Maybe it's easy, but left turns, you have to be very careful because cars, they'll come by. And in an RV, most of the time the cars, they don't see you or you can't see them. And so the RV, you have to think to be very careful when driving. Also, I want to mention branches that are bent over, the RV gets a lot closer than cars do. So you kind of have to drive around them. Signs, if they're leaning over, cars can go by them, but an RV might hit it and break it. So you have to be very, very cautious. In my experience, I feel like driving a car for me versus a bigger car, it's definitely different. One time in the summer, we were traveling for 3 months in the RV. We get in, and I'm sitting, I felt kind of funny low at the steering wheel. So when I raised myself up, I felt like a king. And all the cars were just looking at me, and I felt like I could just shoo them away. And the cars, they're kind of going by and ignoring me, but I still was very cautious, made sure to look behind me. And in the RV, I can describe what's in there. So you enter the RV on the right, and then on the left, there's a refrigerator. On the right, there's some seats where you can sit, and it can also fold out into a bed. Next to that, on the same side, the right side, is a table with some benches where you can sit, and you can also sleep there. About 2 people can sleep there. It does fold down into a bed. But anyways, and then the steering wheel's on the side of the bed, but towards the front. And it's nice because there's a kitchen next to the refrigerator, but on the opposite part, but same size. There's also a closet where you can hang things. And the shower is just about a little bit behind, near the bathroom, by the closet. Lastly, we wanted to build and make it nice and feel kind of like it's at home. And we really enjoyed our time. And it's nice because, with kids, they're so busy. And when you're traveling, um, the first thing you always say is, I need to go to the bathroom, or I'm tired, and so I need food, and you have to pull over, and constantly, if they complain, you have to, with a car, you might be tired. It's easier to pull over and fall asleep, but then you have to search and maybe find a hotel. But the RV is really cool, it has a lot of positives. Some negatives is it's pretty expensive. The cost is, and the insurance, you need a special license, you need to get permits. Um, Recently, we decided to sell our RV, and that is because our daughters, the three of them, Tajami, and then the twins, the first Mandy and Tammy, TJ for short, she turned 16 and 17 recently, so she wanted a car. And I was thinking we would get her a new car because her first class is at 7 in the morning. So recently I've been picking her up and dropping her off, and I decided to exchange the RV for a Jeep. And that was a hard decision. It was hard to imagine exchanging for the value an RV for a Jeep. It didn't seem the same, but the RV, about from the year 1987, so it's kind of old. And insurance would stay the same. Not bad. But for the RV, for my kids when they grow up, maybe when I retire, maybe I'll buy an RV. If you're wondering about buying an RV, go ahead and get it.